Hey there, it's Miss Birds here, and welcome back to another drawing tutorial with me today. Last week we went over how to do perspective drawing, which is very important if you want to learn how to draw things or make them look like they're going back in space or that they're coming forward. And so today we're going to take over another very important drawing tutorial, and that is drawing the construction of the body. Now, a lot of times people just want to draw stick figures because they can't draw the body or they think that they can't draw the body. But actually, I'm going to show you how we're going to start the construction of the body with actual lines and how you build that up into the body structure. Now, as I'm going through and doing this tutorial, I'm going to be doing it in my style. If you are familiar with these types of techniques of building up the body through construction lines, feel free to do your own style. That is completely fine. I have given this to you on Google Classroom, so if you have a printer at home, feel free to go ahead and print it out so that you can have this same drawing tutorial on your paper. If not, go ahead and just grab an extra sheet of paper and follow along with me as I draw. What you're going to need today is a sheet of paper. If you don't have this particular paper, any sheet of paper, whether it be like lined paper from a notebook, or if you have just plain white copy paper, that is perfect. You're going to want to use a pencil as always, and you're going to want to make sure that your pencil has an eraser. For this demonstration, I'm actually going to be using a blue pencil, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better as we're going through and doing our tutorial. Now we have two different skeletons here that are forming two different poses. And so what we're going to be doing is starting out the construction lines of the body and then building up. So first thing that we really want to do is just figure out where the top of the head is going to be, just kind of roughly, and where the bottom is, where the torso is going to start. The torso is the upper half of our body. And then where the pelvic bone is, that's where your hips are. And that's pretty much going to start us off, okay? So first things first, when we are drawing the face or the head, it's actually round. So it's actually a circle with the bottom chin line coming out. So it's a circle first, and then we add on that jawline for the chin. So I'm gonna go through and create a circle and create my jawline coming down. I'm going to start with just kind of a general oval shape for that torso area. And I'm going to put two smaller circles on the side. Those are actually going to be our shoulders. So that's kind of what gives the body a little bit of width at the top is the shoulders. And keep in mind, as we're going through and doing this tutorial, we're starting out with just general shapes, right? So we're not putting in any details. We're not putting details of the face, the muscles, anything like that. Right now, we are purely starting our tutorial with just doing shapes, right? So circles and ovals, pretty basic, okay? And then afterward, you start building everything else around it. Okay, so I'm going to do a nice oval shape for the torso and, or not the torso, sorry, the pelvic bone, and kind of where the legs will start on the pelvic bone as well too. Okay, I'm gonna just draw a line for my arm, that bone in my arm, and a circle where the elbow joint is gonna be. And then the other bone. And I kind of just do like a little oval shape for the hand. Okay, so on the other side, let's go ahead and draw it again. Remember, just a line will be fine. Coming down, the circle for the joint of the elbow, and then the arm. Finish it off with, I just kind of do these like little oval or teardrop shapes. But again, keep in mind, you have your own style, right, of drawing things. So if you want to draw them a little bit differently, that is perfectly okay, right? I like to go through and draw the lines for the neck. Connect that to the spine. Right? Because the spine's going to go all the way down to your tailbone, which is around your pelvic bone, and going up through the torso. All right, and then just some lines for our legs. Of course, a circle for the kneecap. Coming down. Drawing the other leg. This one's a little bit more slanted on my paper, so I'm just going to draw it a little bit more diagonally. And my foot. Okay, so essentially all we've drawn are just shapes and lines, right? Two of the fundamental elements of art. And essentially this is what all of your drawings should come out to be first, right? They should be construction. We never want to start with the details of the face first and then build everything out around it, because what's going to happen is you're going to be proportionally off. And so in order to make sure that you have the correct proportions, you want to make sure that you are building the construction first and then going through and dealing with the details. So I'm just going to go through and start connecting my lines, the areas where my muscles would be. Kind of forming out the body. And one thing to note about the legs is that the quad muscle, the muscle that is on your thigh, is always going to be more rounded. Okay, your shin, that's the front of the bottom part of your leg, should be more flat. And then your calf, which has muscle, has a bump in the back. And that is pretty much how you draw the body.